We have a new stream setup. This whole stream layout was created by me, and it's the new and improved Byonemil stream layout. And today we are going to be going through a frag count animation that will detail statistically who got the most kills in our winning run of Run and Bun. Who came in the top 10 of kills. Obviously, it's not just kill count that matters for how important a Pokemon is. A lot of Pokemon, and we'll talk about them when we rank them, contribute more than just kills. So we'll start with the top 10 fraggers from my run. Chronological order is going to play across here, and we're going to see who gets the most frags. So, of course, the first few frags were Infernape. And Infernape basically stays in the lead the entire time. It's pretty insane. We have some great early game mons, but they're dropping off already. Stuff like Eldegoss, Nidoqueen, Palpitoad, who died very early. Dreadnought, though, my boy, Dreadnought is such an early game carry. I think it was, well past this. Arcanine has been up in the leagues for quite a while, despite dying quite early in the game. And we're getting into endgame now, and Dreadnought is still sitting up there. What a beast, holy. And we're gonna pause it as we get to the true final top 10. And who are they? They are Infernape with 236 kills is absolutely insane. Gian, that's exactly my point. I did not include Wally. I did not include any of the optionals that have level up movesets. This is an insane number of kills, 236. The total, for those of you curious with the way I counted it, the total was 1489. 1,489. Infernape has something like 20% of the kills. Imagine the entire game. Infernape has basically come to a fight every single game and killed someone in the full party. Insane levels of destruction. This is what a plus speed ape will do. This is the god ape, the plus speed nature, max special attack IV, max speed IV, max attack IV. Crazy number of kills. No one even comes close. Beedrill being second is not surprising. It was pretty close though, I won't lie. 85 is pretty disgusting, especially considering B only comes online around about here. So B is basically getting no kills. I only got it around here anyway, and then it shoots up to the top with 85. That's pretty crazy. Garchomp as well. I was a little surprised to see Garchomp here actually. It didn't feel like Garchomp was getting that many kills. In fact, before I made the sheet, if you asked me who I thought got more kills between Dragonite and Garchomp, I would have guessed Dragonite. It just didn't feel like Garchomp was getting that many frags, but clearly, Garchomp was going crazy. This is no surprise whatsoever. In fact, I'm surprised it's not higher. I felt like Dragapult was getting crazy numbers of kills. We got him around here, just before Mount Pyre. So for him to catapult himself into the top is pretty impressive. Urshifu at 72. Considering we only get him here, that's still pretty impressive. Bro made the top 5 despite coming in the last like 10-15% of the game. Archeops though, my boy, I've gotta say, Archeops from Fossil is goated. Do you want Aerodactyl over this? Probably. Is Aerodactyl just straight up better? Probably. Is Mega Aerodactyl better? Yes, in every way, shape, and form, basically. Archeops basically only gets a couple things over Aerodactyl. It has better attack, despite this horrible ability. It does get U-turn, but I never scaled that, so I never used U-turn on Archeops. Although U-turn Archeops probably goes kind of crazy. And it also has really good special attack. And to be fair, I do remember clicking Power Gem a couple times. But Archeops went crazy in this run. Look at this, bro made the top 6, and I think... Let's just watch it again. Archeops, considering he comes in around Fossil, that's about here, isn't it? Considering we only got him around here, I think he literally makes his way into the top 10 and just stays there for the whole game at that point. Where is he? He's gonna come in any moment now, I believe, bro, I believe. Still no, holy. Ah, there he is, there he is. Around the Winstitute, he starts popping off. Okay, back and forth, and then he catapults himself up into the top 10 and just stays there. Yeah, Archeops was fantastic throughout the whole game. Really good Pokemon. Honestly, I see a world where I bring him to the Elite Four because Burrow has Tailwind, and I feel like you can do some crazy Drake Double stuff with Tailwind Archeops. A lot of people take Aerodactyl to Drake Doubles and do Tailwind shenanigans with that. I'm sure you could do the same with Archeops. So Archeops still hasn't been champed. I'm sure someone will do it at some point because he is a really, really good Pokemon. Base 140 attack is crazy, by the way. Especially how early you get him. Crazy good. Who else have we got? Dreadnought. Oh my boy. Dreadnought has been sitting in the top 10 for basically the entire game, hasn't he? This Pokemon, who doesn't know about Electrode? It's literally a guaranteed encounter in New Mobile. Electrode's crazy. I had a really good Electrode. I think I had a plus attack Electrode and he was getting kills left, right, and center, I'll be honest. Really, really solid Pokemon. Harry, I had a Guts Harry who carried quite a lot early game. He's one of our first encounters, so we literally got him around here. So no wonder he has 48. But Drapion is a bit of a surprise. Drapion, I am convinced, is an insane Pokemon. It is so good. Bro's typing is the classic Poison Dark, of which there are quite a few mons in this game. There's Skuntank, there's Malola Muck. I think Drapion's the best, bro. Battle Armor is crazy, and getting knockoff and Battle Armor, guaranteed toxic, insane. Your plus speed Electrode is putting in work. The thing about Electrode is, it's so fast. If you manage to get that fabled plus speed Electrode, you can literally outspeed Pokemon in Tailwind on Mount Pyre, which is crazy. Plus speed Electrode goes insane. But my one being plus special attack was real nice, I'll be honest. So that's the top 10. Let's have a little more slower look at the top 20. Eldegoss, one of the early game carries, fell off pretty quickly because it died at Norman. Palpitoad being so high so early is really cool, I'm not gonna lie. Togi jumping up the ranks as well. Who else have we got? Dreadnought straight up into the top and stays there pretty much at that point. Talonflame was great early game and then basically stopped coming to fights around about here, I would say. Very, very rarely came to many more. Arcanine, oh, I am so sorry, Arcanine. I'm sure you would have been top 10 if you'd have stayed alive, but Arcanine died right here. Cloyster was another goat. Oh my god, Cloyster was so good. We'll talk about him more when I start ranking the mons, but Cloyster was insane in my run. I had a good IV Cloyster with Skill Link. And Skill Link Rock Blast, Skill Link Icicle Spear went crazy. I guess it's probably because we got Garchomp so early that it got so many kills. We got Garchomp like pre-Flannery, which is probably why it has so many kills. B shooting up already, I can see. We got that. Look at little Berserker here as well, though. That's very cute. Yo, Eldegoss being here despite dying like all the way down here is kind of crazy. Dragapult shooting up now. B is straight up to the top 3. Hilarious. What else have we got? Dragapult making its way up the ranks. It's actually pretty close between Garchomp and B towards the end. Look at this. Oh my god, it's quite a close fight. Yo, Shifu jumping up, claiming his rightful place, and then B takes it to the end as the number 2 spot. Let's look at this. We've talked about the top 10 already. Latios, this is crazy. We literally got Latios here. And for it to get like 42 kills, crazy. To be fair, taking 6 on Drake doubles is probably helped quite a bit with that frag count. Talonflame, that is pretty much all early game frags, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe like 1 or 2 late game. Basculegion. One thing that I really, really wish I knew about with Basculegion is that this move that Basculegion gets, Poltergeist, most people who have Basculegion will choose to have Spirit Shackle over Poltergeist, rightly so, because Spirit Shackle is 100% accurate and Poltergeist says 90. I caught Basculegion as a Basculin, which is terrifying because this thing has Final Gambit and it could have clicked it. But because I caught it as a Basculin, I missed out on Spirit Shackle. It was already level 49 or something, I think, when I caught the Basculin. So the only ghost type move I had without using a scale was Poltergeist. And I clicked it quite a few times in my run, just for the memes, because I thought it was 90% accurate, but there's a glitch in this game where Poltergeist does not check accuracy. Bro, I wish I knew that. I would have been clicking that left, right, and center. One of my greatest regrets. Because Basculegion was insane, I'm not gonna lie. I basically used wide lens Poltergeist, so it was 99% chance to hit. And I had a couple lines where I gave myself leeway to miss once. So I thought that if I missed a 1% into 1%, that was low enough risk for me to go for Poltergeist. But little did I know, wide lens was unnecessary. I could have literally gone like Life Orb Poltergeist and done crazy damage. Bro, that's my one regret. And I don't even get to use Basculegion in New Game Plus either because it's duped out. So I never get that feeling of just smashing the Poltergeist button knowing it's 100% accurate. Not even 100% accurate, that it doesn't check accuracy. So you can use it in like crazy scenarios with double team and stuff like that. Alolan Exegg. I got this in Surf Sim. I see a world where I take this to Elite 4, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's a great Swampert counter. I'm sure it does some stuff on the rest as well. But 35 frags is very respectable for my boy. He was great. Having a 4 times water resist is absolutely fantastic. This Mon is absolutely solid. The mixed attacker, and I definitely used Harvest a couple times as well. Specifically on that Electrode in Magma Hideout, I remember. I used like a Personberry Harvest set, and I also definitely used it in some Sun fights as well. That was fun. Harvest is a really, really fun ability. Guard making the top 20 makes me really happy. Obviously, we have the Soul, Dew, Steel, but I used Trace on Guard a few other times as well. I traced Fur Coat in Aqua Hideout. I definitely traced all of the speed doubling abilities. I traced Speed Boost once on the Sharpedo in Seafloor Cavern. Love Trace. Prim making top 20, fair enough. I'm surprised Greninja's not here. I thought Greninja got more frags than this, but I guess Prim is just fantastic. And Arcanine, a relic of the early game, still in the top 20 is insane. And my boy makes it to the top 20. That is so cute that Berserker made it to the top 20. With 26 little frags. I guess it wasn't there until the end, right? Because it got its last frag in Glacier. Oh no, it was already there. Sick. Ooh, Corv as well at some point was on the top 20. Who else was there and then dropped off? Oh my god, the Nidos were in the top 20 all the way from the early game. The early game frags go so far, I'm not gonna lie. Right, moving on to ranking the encounters. Yet again, let me make this clear. This is not ranking how good the Pokemon are for a general run, a generic run. I am ranking how much these Pokemon contributed to my winning run. I'm going to talk about how good I think they are otherwise, but I don't think I have the experience to speak about all of them. We'll get into that. I'm just not going to rank a lot of these because I didn't even get them. Zam, based on my ranking criteria, is a hero of the run. Realistically, if I have to say how Pokemon contributed to my run, how can I not include the Elite Four team? They literally have defined the run. Alakazam is S tier for how it contributed to the run. If this was a general ranking tier list though, if this was a general ranking tier list though, I'm not gonna lie, Alakazam would probably be somewhere here. I don't know, because I got this boy at Victory Road. I feel like if you get Abra right at the start of the game and you get a good Synchronize, it could be really good. Maybe towards the top of B. And then I don't know how much Alakazam would even do mid to late game. Once you get Megazam, which is literally VR, like at the end of Victory Road, by that point you're probably set and you don't really need him anyway. I'm not gonna lie, Alakazam is somewhere around here probably. But for my run specifically, bro came through. S tier, hero of the run, absolute beast. Among Us, a solid nah. Bro is not that good, I'm not gonna lie. Tanky, and to be fair, I think the most memorable thing that Among Us did was deal with the Superior in Aqua Hideout really, really well. That's basically it. It's a really good Superior counter. And then he was just a sack, which obviously I'm pretty sure many Pokemon could have done on Relly and Ian. But honestly, he doesn't do that much. He didn't come to many fights. Defensive Mon, Grass Poison, sure, not that great. This is how it contributed to my run, and I'd probably put it somewhere around here for a general run as well. It seems to be pretty accurate. Early game Mushroom is probably good, but I got it pretty late. I got it in Safari Zone, which is, I'm sure there's many other mons that you would rather have from Safari Zone than this. Oh, my sweet boy. Arcanine got us through the early game. Maybe he would be higher if he didn't die. And that's kind of my fault. I did get unlucky. He got poisoned on the on a very, very early turn in Veto, and he was taking like 3 on Veto, so he just didn't have the health to make it through. So my boy died, but he got us through early game for sure. He was very, very key. So he can go straight into A tier. Key. Big key mon. Archeops, top of A tier. I wouldn't quite say S, but he's very good. Archeops is a very, very good Pokemon. Absolutely fantastic. I've just spoken about his moveset, his stats. Very, very solid Pokemon. And I think a realistic Elite Four Pokemon as well. I think somebody could definitely champ this Pokemon. Thing is, it's so hard to get this Pokemon. You just have to get a specific fossil. And then there are some end game routes where you can catch Archeops, but realistically, almost everyone in those routes wants Aerodactyl, and you want Mega Aerodactyl. So I think it's quite a niche scenario where someone brings us to E4. Armaldo, I got him really late. I'm gonna put him in here. I think that's fair. I got him super, super late. I got him in the dive spot, and by that point, you don't get Protect anymore, which is unfortunate. I think if you get him as a fossil much earlier, he's a pretty good Pokemon with Protect, and Battle Armor that early in the game is always useful. But because I caught him like around here, he was like somewhere around here, he didn't have Protect. So all he did in my run was be a sack. So I can't realistically put him anywhere else. Avalugg, bro is kind of trash, I'm not gonna lie. Who else did I have? I did not have a Barraskewda, but I did have Basculesian, and bro is going straight up to A, probably behind Arcanine. But Basculesian was crazy. He was key, absolutely key in Bridge Rival. He was really important in Magma Hideout Hell Room. Bro came to so many fights. Even in Endgame, he was coming to fights. Basculesian is a fantastic Pokemon, and I'm very happy to see he has been champed. Bro was champed before Barraskewda. I back my boy, and that was before I even knew about Poltergeist not missing. That puts him in another another level, I'm not gonna lie. If I knew that Poltergeist could never miss, who knows, maybe this would have been a hero. No, not quite. He would have jumped up in A for sure though, but he is definitely a key Pokemon for how he contributed to my run. Bro, come on, like realistically. Is this a surprise? I got this just after Surf Sim, and come on. Bro literally got the second most kills. There's nothing more to be said. Boltund, very good for early game, and honestly a really good sacrifice, because the thing is with Boltund is even if you're sacrificing Boltund, bro can get off one last nuzzle for the road and paralyze them on. He's probably faster than who you're sacking it to as well. So I think Boltund is a solid Pokemon. You catch this boy in early game, he'll probably get you through the early game. He managed to one-shot the Indeedee for cycling Road Rival with Crunch in my run, and I think most Boltunds can do that. And honestly, he's a solid sacrifice. I'll put him right at the top of B. Like, at the top. He's a little better than I, but he's not quite key, I'll be honest. He's not quite key. Camerupt, solid mon. Solid mon. Any single Pokemon with this ability. Magma Armor in this game prevents crits, so any Pokemon that can dodge crits allows you to do some fantastic things. He's great for some Trick Room fights. When you get Mega Camerupt, he pops off as well for those. I used him in Trick Room TNL, and then I blew him up right at the end of the game. And obviously, Kindle brought him to the Elite Four. That was fantastic as well. Caracosta, this is a really difficult one because... Guys, my Caracosta died in a museum. I basically didn't use him. Oh god, I basically didn't use him. Bro never saw the light of day. Bro never lived up to his full potential. Bro never even made it to Protect. And I think I didn't have like a Protect mon for like quite a long time. This one hurt a lot. In fact, losing this made me want to reset. And I was going to reset after Museum. Except we pulled, and let's talk about him now. Let's talk about him now. We pulled the raw Togedemaru. Bro is the reason that my run ever made it past Museum. If I hadn't have got Togi in Museum, I probably would have reset. He is a hero of the run. If it wasn't for him, we would have reset, and who knows what would have happened. The whole course of my history would have changed. So scary to think about, actually. That one decision like that, pulling the raw Togedemaru on that run, stopped me from resetting, and here we are. Here we are. I'm actually shocked that it took people as long as Capanivia to bring Togedemaru to the Elite Four, because it's really, really good for all the doubles in Elite Four. Togi is actually really good. And the fact that you get it so early, it's such an early game carry. Iron Barbs is fantastic. You can literally whittle down so many threats by switching it in, because its typing is also fantastic. Electric Steel is really good at resisting moves and then baiting specific moves, like ground moves, because it's 4 times weak. I scaled U-turn very early on, and it was really, really good. Like, it really pulled through. U-turn Togi, early and mid-game, I was clicking it a lot. I did basically stop clicking U-turn Togi around mid-game though. And then Spiky Shield, fantastic move. I did have a Charizard in my run, but I truly did not use it. It didn't come to a single fight, and it wasn't sacked either. Of course, these two were run defining. This is the reason that we even had a run, and this boy really made the run so much easier. We are on Cloyster, into H here for sure. This thing was crazy. I've just talked about how good he was, but my Cloyster was solid. Skill Link, Rock Blast, Icicle Spear, such a good Pokemon. Having Ice Stab as well, really good. Good typing as well, good defenses, solid mon. Corv, of course, goes up here as well. He just walls so many Pokemon in the game and just allows you like an easy way out, especially once he gets Roost. Cordilli, trash. I basically just didn't use him, and then I sacked him in the end. But not only that, like I didn't even see any uses for him really. There is a world where you use this for Shelly in Seafloor Cavern, isn't there? But I have B, and B is just better. B with Defog is just a better lead. Dragalge I basically didn't use. I caught him, he didn't come to a single fight, I don't think. He maybe came as a pivot once, but not anything else, so I don't really have any experience of this. Obviously, Pult is a GOAT. These two made the run just so much more. They oiled the gears of the run for sure. Pult and B. Dragonite, I actually want to put up here, bottom of S tier. He was so good. I'm going to be honest. He never let me down. Every single time I put Dragonite in the calc, and I'm like, can Dragonite do something here? Dragonite always delivered. Every single time. Specifically, I want to say the coverage goes crazy. Bro gets all the punches. Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch. And then E-Speed, and then mixed coverage with Draco and the priority. Bro is crazy. And I used dual wing beat a couple times as well to deal with like sashes. And then the icing on the cake is inner focus. And this came into play a couple times as well. Being immune to flinches is so good. There were a couple doubles where, because Dragonite is immune to flinching and the opponent has fake out, you can guarantee them faking out the other slot. That is really useful for baiting and planning. I really like Dragonite. He's really good. Really, really good. He really performed. And honestly, I'm a bit surprised he didn't make it into the top 20. I felt like he got more kills than this. I feel like I'm surprised it hasn't come to the Elite Four. He is so versatile. I really do feel like it'll happen someday. Drapion is S tier. I'm saying it now. Drapion is insanely good. In fact, bro is above Dragonite. Drapion was one of my favorite Pokemon in the entire run. The heisters made the heist like even possible. And then Soldew made the Elite Four possible. So Drapion coming in on that turn and baiting exactly what I needed on the Hooper. Bro is insane. And then he's like, look at this. Drapion made the top 10 frag list. I'm so happy for my boy. Drapion's a fantastic Pokemon. So good. Crazy how good poison types are in this game, eh? But I think for Drapion, it's specifically the defenses, the ability, never being able to be crit. This is a crazy typing. And then knockoff is really good as well. Dreadnought, come on, bro. Hero of the run. You get a Dreadnought, you get a good Dreadnought, and you know your run has legs. True hero of the run. Early game hero for sure. I think I got an Electros and I basically didn't use it, I just sacked it. I'm sure Eel early game is good. Eel has been popping off in my Soul Link with Omar though. Those of you who don't know my Soul Link rules with Omar, we have unlimited scales. Take a look at this moveset. Bro with infinite scales is actually crazy cracked. Superpower, Drain Punch, 115 attack so early, basically no weaknesses, bro is cracked. But in my run, I got him super late, like all the way at the end of the game, and he didn't really do much. Eldegoss. This is actually probably the most embarrassing death of the whole run. I mean, I definitely made mistakes the whole run, but this was the biggest, like, my bad. A lot of the other deaths were like bad luck, and a mixture of my mistake and bad luck. This one was pure my bad. I lost Eldegoss on the defense room trainer in Norman's gym because I forgot that stamina would increase defense and increase body press damage output. And not just that, I was mashing buttons, so I didn't even like visualize or connect that the Mudsdale was like doing a crap ton of damage to me. And I just kept mashing buttons, and then I was like, wait, I'm dead. And I lost Eldegoss, which is really rough because Eldegoss is also a fantastic Pokemon. But this is probably the most embarrassing death of my whole run. I also, at that point, I only had 2 grass types. I had Eldegoss and Meganium. And my plan for Norman was already to sacrifice Meganium. So I basically lost all my grass types because of that mistake. That was rough. That was really rough. But we move, and we learn. Those of you who don't know, its ability is like one of the best abilities in the game, I'm not gonna lie. If this Pokemon comes in and gets hit, not even by a contact move, just hit, you just lower their speed automatically. Speed control is crazy important for Run and Bun, and all hardcore Nuzlockes to be honest. So this thing is crazy and gets used throughout the whole game. Cracked. This thing is so good. In fact, I'm gonna put it here. The fact that it's a guaranteed encounter as well, like, this thing is crazy. Volt Switch, don't even need a scale. Volt Switch from something this fast, it's so good. I use this so much, and no wonder he made it to the top 10 list. Grass Electric is also crazy coverage. Never, ever, ever get anything but this from New Morville, unless you're playing New Game Plus and you have no choice. Getting anything else but this is a throw. I'm telling you, this thing is so good. Technically, you could argue that if you get Electrode in New Morville, you are throwing away a potential encounter because in Aqua Hideout, you can also get guaranteed Electrode. However, 2 points to that. 1, In New Morville, it's a guaranteed Volt Orb if you choose the right Pokeball. Therefore, you can guarantee catch it with Quick Ball before it explodes. In Aqua Hideout, it's an Electrode and can just explode turn 1 and not get caught by a Quick Ball. And then you just don't get Electrode. Point number 2. Having Electrode between New Morville and Aqua Hideout is like really, really important. Bro pops off throughout the whole game as soon as you get him. He's also really good for Magma Hideout. And if you try and get Electrode in Aqua Hideout, you don't have him in Magma Hideout. This thing is insanely good. Yeah, I think this is fair. And maybe Corv should be a bit higher. Yeah, probably higher than Cloyster and higher than this. And honestly higher than this. And then, yeah, there's a crazy strategy with Alolan Egg where if you have Custap Berry left over, which I didn't because I used it to boom, you can take like 4 Pokemon with Alolan Eggs or something. There's some crazy strat. Because Maxi 2 in Magma Hideout is Permanent Sun, so Harvest works every single turn. If you give this a Custap Berry, apparently there is a rumored strategy where this thing can go crazy and kill like 2 or 3 Pokemon before it dies. By just harvesting Custap Berry every single turn. Which sounds crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Sounds really crazy. Pharaoh, honestly, Pharaoh came to 1 fight. Pharaoh got 1 frag, and that's all it did. But I'm gonna put it in solid because my entire box, I think I spent like 3 hours trying to plan Archie 2 in Seafloor Cavern before I realized that this was the perfect answer to Overquill. Before that point, I was struggling so hard on that Overquill. That thing is demon, dude. Oh my god. And so for Ferrothorn to come in and safely deal with that Overquill, it exploded to kill it. Bro is a goat. Thank you, Ferrothorn. You did one thing in my run. You did one thing, you came to 1 fight and you got 1 frag, but bro is a solid mon. I do think that Pharaoh should have got Iron Barbs though. This is just not an ability. Ferrothorn with Iron Barbs would have been much better. And I don't even think it would have been broken. Maybe it would have been. I feel bad for my boy though. Look at him, he's so spiky and he doesn't get Iron Barbs. Come on, man, come on. Garchomp. I'm gonna put him... If you'd have asked me before I made that frag counter where I put Garchomp, I would have put him here. I did not realize that my bro was getting all these kills. Look at this is insane. I think it's because I got him so early, but I was quite shocked at how many kills he got. And I've got to give it to him. He was a solid Pokemon throughout the whole game. Really, really, really good. I'd honestly put them equal. I really like both. They were both fantastic mons. It always felt like Dragonite was filling a niche though, that was like a rare niche. Garchomp just hits heavy, and I feel like if I didn't have Garchomp, there were probably other options, but he got so many kills that I have to give it to him. I'm gonna put Gardevoir at the bottom though, because Gardevoir is like really cool for very specific fights, and obviously it was run defining for the Soldew steal. And actually without Gardevoir, I probably wouldn't have been able to steal the Soldew. I don't even know if you can do it with like Porygon. Or like early Zam. Maybe. Someone on my winning run commented this saying that my box was goated, but if you have a winning run, you're more likely to have crazy encounters. Definitely a bias playing into there. If you're looking at the winning runs for how good their boxes are, you're definitely biasing yourself. But yeah, Guard was really fun. Tracing like Fur Coat, tracing Speed Boost, tracing the speed up abilities in weather. I had so much fun using Guard in my run. Trace is like my favorite ability. Allows for such creative play. Gengar, solid nah, dude. Gengar fell off ever since he lost Levitate, I'm not gonna lie. I think if you have a good IV Gengar, he can pop off on Preston and Mora and do a lot of damage. Mine was really, really low special attack and didn't do enough damage. He still came to Preston and Mora, but died. He had like a 40% chance to live, but I was happy sacking him. Gigalith, solid. He did a couple things. Gigalith was decent early game. Just did some Gigalith things, coming in on stuff, not dying, clicking Rock Slide a couple times, and then he blew up on Fire Tag. Solid mon, reliable, what can you say? Glalie I did not use. I think he came to 1 fight and got like 1 frag. So I cannot comment on this guy, but honestly, somewhere here. I feel like Trash Tier is also very acceptable. I tried looking at Calyx for this thing and it did like nothing. I had a really good Glalie as well. I think mine was like plus speed and a decent like attack and attack. Golly, come on. You know what? I want to talk about Golly real quick for a second. Glycopod is nowhere near the top 20 crags because he just didn't get many kills. But I genuinely think Glycopod came to like every other fight. You can use him in like every fight as a free switch basically. However, I do wonder whether there is some bias with the use of Golisopod. I brought him to every other fight in the game, but did I need to? Maybe if I hadn't have had Golisopod, I would have just had another Pokemon and it would have been fine. It's unique to Golly because of the role that Golly plays. Golly's role is so versatile that you can plug him into almost every fight. And so therefore, that makes me think that his versatility makes him one of the best Pokemon of all time. But maybe if you're bringing Golly, you're not bringing someone else who might have done something else in that fight. So I'm just playing devil's advocate because I do think Golly's an S tier mon. I'm just saying that maybe there's something else there's some other type of bias with Golly. Because with another mon, okay, like if it's killing something like Beedrill, if you don't bring Beedrill, you just need something else that hits hard. And Beedrill is only like replaced by some very specific Pokemon. However, Golly replaces everything and can therefore be replaced by everything if you don't have it. That's my logic. That was worded really weirdly, but that's actually the point that I'm making. And so maybe its utility is slightly overhyped. Irregardless, I'm just raising that as devil's advocate. I am still gonna put him in S tier. For those of you wondering why, this ability is basically a free switch if you can do mathematics. If you pre-damage this, send this in on a move, it goes below 50% HP, so long as you account for a very specific bug that can mess you up, you basically switch out and get a free switch. And free switches in Nuzlockes are a godsend. So important. Gren, bro. Gren is amazing. I'm gonna put Gren in A tier. The fact that he can chain like 2 on Archie is insane. Torrent strats, fling strats, bro is cracked. If you don't get Primarina and you get Greninja, do not complain because this boy will contribute to your run. As long as he's good IVs, I'm sure that probably matters. But you can pre-damage, get a 50% boost to water moves. This thing's fast. You can get flings off. I used fling quite a few times as well. I don't think I ever clicked Water Shuriken though. This thing is bait. Gyarados was a absolutely solid mon. Top of B. Not quite A, but really good for baiting. Intimidate's useful for baiting as well. I never got Mega Gyarados, so I don't know how that hand holds up, but it's a really good solid mon. This I have never seen in my life before. Anyone who asks me, this doesn't exist. Never seen this. Is this a Pokemon? I'm sure. This surely doesn't belong here. Come on, bro. Kecleon is S tier because it allows guaranteed leftover steal. That's fantastic. That's like really insane. Kingdra was solid. Kingdra is probably better in turtle runs where you can delay for Ice Beam and then Kingdra's really good for Bridge Rival. But I'm on an Ape run, so delaying for Ice Beam, I like basically never clicked Ice Beam on this. I'll put it in solid. It was good. I just don't remember it doing a huge amount. So I'll put it in the bottom of solid. Come on, bro. Get my mans up. Get my mans up. I think I'm honestly going to put these two at the top of my Elite Four heroes. Insane Pokemon. Ooh, okay, this is going to be controversial as hell, dude. I put this in trash, not because the Pokemon is trash. If this was a generic list of how good Lopunny can be in a person's run, it would be an A tier, I think. I don't think it's quite S. But my Lopunny was minus speed. My Lopunny was minus speed nature. It's so sad because its IVs were really good and then it was minus speed nature. My Lopunny did not come to like a single fight for most of the game. I used it in a pity fight once where I gave it a kill, which some other Pokemon could definitely have done. And then I sacked it right at the end of the game. So how it contributed to the win? It didn't, bro. It really didn't. So I don't think I'm ever going to experience cracked Lopunny, which is very sad. But if you get a cracked Lopunny, that could be an A tier. I definitely think so. One of the most disappointing mons in my run, I'm not going to lie. Lycanroc was a solid guy. I don't think he did crazy amounts. Having no guard is really nice, meaning that it can never miss a move. Magnezone. Really good mon. I think I'll put him in top of B. Just a really reliable guy. Really bulky. Does a lot of damage. Mine was Magnet Pull as well. He got us Corv. We missed Drill, I think twice. Then I got Scyther in Falaba when I was hoping for a Steel type. Maractus. Okay, Maractus was actually solid. I'm gonna put it all the way up here for some very specific reasons regarding my run. Maractus was what we got instead of Magnet Pull Excadrill. So I was upset. But at that point in the game, I had no grass types. After losing this like an idiot and sacking Meganium on Norman, this was my only grass type, and therefore it definitely was useful at that point. It was also my only protect mon at that point, because I don't think Togi has Spiky Shield at that point, and this boy was long dead. So Maractus fit 2 very important roles at the time that I got Maractus in my game. Additionally, it killed the Groudon in Magma Hideout. That saves me from sacrificing someone else. So overall, Maractus was solid for my run. This came to a few fights. I got it in like Evergrande, I think it was. It was towards the end of the game. Having Intimidate and the typing of Steel Fairy was quite good, but it's really not great. It's too slow to be able to actually do damage, and Mega Mawile is not great, I'll be honest. Ooh, Meganium was a great early game carry. It was really good for early game, and then I sacked it on Norman, and I've heard it doesn't do much post Norman anyway. So I'll put it in solid. I had both Nidos in my run. Nidoqueen was quite good early game. I mean, if you actually look at this, Nidoqueen was actually getting a lot of early game frags and stays in the top 10 for like a long time, even though it died all the way down here. It's just still sitting up here, all the way into Mount Chimney. Nidoking was really good for Watson, and then he came to a decent number of fights moving forward into the game. So I'll put him like here, above Nidoqueen, because he did more. He stuck around for longer. Bro's going in trash. I hate this mon. And you know why I'm so salty? I'm so salty about this. I got Reckless Obstagoon. No! Which means that I never get to experience Mickey Goon in New Game Plus. I'm so sad, dude. I'm so sad. This stupid Obstagoon from this run has stolen that from me. I never get to experience the power of the Mickey Goon with guts. Sucker Punch. Crazy. Didn't even clutch up on Norman. Bro is straight trash. Bro might be the lowest ranked member of this entire tier list soon. Okay, so this thing never made an appearance in my run. It was Dottler, and it was actually pretty good as a Dottler. I never got Orbeetle. Dottler died on Brawly, so it was very early. But not gonna lie, early game Dottler is pretty good for Brawly and was decent for Museum. So I kind of feel like I want to put him at the bottom of solid. Octillery was actually really solid. If I remember correctly, it was pretty decent. Good for the early game. I sacked it on win straights, if I remember correctly. I had no master as well. I don't think it did much. I'm going to say not used. I got this really late, and it did some stuff as a protect mon, but I just feel like if you get a master from a fossil, you are very happy, because that thing is a solid Pokemon early game. As a general Pokemon, I could see it being A tier, for sure. A tier if you got it early. But I just got it too late to have a well-formed opinion on this mon. This is literally a Ferrothorn situation. I got Overquill. He wasn't Intimidate. Bro came to one fight and one fight only. Bro got 2 frags, to be fair. And that's it. Double boom on Mount Pyre made Mount Pyre safe. And I guess they ensured that I didn't have to, spend a million hours calcing and risk other mons. Solid. Solid boom option. Can't say much else about Overquill, I'll be honest. Obviously, Circa has to go to the top. I'll put him up here. Run defining. Zerka, all of these mons that came to the Elite Four. He's also, I got him really early, within the first week of playing the game, and he is really good early game. And being a battle armor mon with a fake out and all that stuff. Lantern. I'm gonna put it in here. How many lanterns can you say 1v1 the Kyogre? This Lantern paralyzed Archie's Kyogre and then killed it. And also having Volt Absorb, just the typing. It did some stuff for sure. Pinsir. I had a good Pinsir as well. Bro's trash. I'll put him above this. I think Bro also came to one fight. When I got Pinsir, people were telling me, dude, Pinsir takes 4 on Archie, dude. Yeah, sure, if you have Adamant Max Attack IV Pinsir, and even then, I think it's looking a bit sus. To be fair, Adamant Max IV Pinsir like one-shots the Kyogre with Return, which is kind of disgusting. Prim. Okay, let's be realistic. Prim is really good, and everyone knows it's really good. I wanted to put Prim here because I felt like I enjoyed so much more using Greninja, because Greninja did some crazy stuff in my run. But Prim is just really, really good. I'll put it here. Not quite S, but really fantastic solid mon. Reuniclus, you know what? I'm going to put it in trash. I got him in really late, to be fair. I got him in Pacifidlog, but he just didn't do anything. I just used him as a sack. I don't see him being useful in many runs. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think you can get him early anyway. So he's locked to like the end game when you don't really need him. So not really sure about his place in this. His place in this game. Sableye, I think also was kind of trash. He was a good sack though. Scizor is a controversial one. When I got Scyther instead of Leron, magnet pulling in Falaba, I was really excited because I thought Scizor would be really cool. And then Scizor did nothing for ages. And then Scizor got Bullet Punch. And then he like didn't come to any fights except like 3 fights where he destroyed. 2 doubles where Scizor goes crazy. The Weather Institute Hail double where Scizor, like, I think kills every single Pokemon or something like that. And there was another double, I can't quite remember, maybe the Beedrill double, where Scizor did really well as well. And then I sacked him on Maxi? Yeah, he died to get off a knockoff on the Naganadel so that I could outspeed with Dragapult. So I kind of want to put him up here, I'm not gonna lie. Which is difficult because the situation with Scizor is, he doesn't come to fights. But when he does, he pops off. So I kind of want to put him here. Palpitoad, I'm sorry. I lost Palpitoad and Tortuga by the time Brawly was over. But he was good for early game, and he is a really good Pokemon for runs in general. But he just didn't see the light of day. He died before his time. Didn't even see the Seismitoad. Slowbro was crazy cracked. Slowbro is also probably one of the best Pokemon for Elite Four in the whole game. I think Urshifu, Latios, and Slowbro are in a tier of their own for how good they are into the Run and Bun Elite Four. I did not bring Slowbro to the Elite Four, but I certainly, there's definitely a universe where I do. He like kind of solos half of Wallace's team by himself. In particular, in my run, he was really good for Winona. I do remember him going crazy on Winona. Starmie is trash. I got Starmie at the end of the game, to be fair. But I just tried looking at some calcs for Starmie and it just didn't really do anything. Pert was a rock solid Pokemon. Honestly, I want to put Pert about here. Pert came to a lot of fights. As a Mudkip, I brought him to Flannery and it was great at baiting what I needed to. And then Swampert itself came to quite a few fights as a protect bot, but also tanking things and putting in work, getting some damage off. Swampert was also my first ever Pokemon, because Emerald was my first game that I owned myself, although I had played some with my friends Sapphire and my friends Fire Red. Talonflame, of course. Early game carry, dude. Really, really good for the whole of the early game. Talonflame is fantastic until mid-game, and then it just does nothing for the whole game. But Talon's a really, really good Pokemon. Torkoal, of course. Run defining. How it contributed to the win? Absolutely run defining. Torn is trash. Came to like one fight, to be fair, but it's just not a good Pokemon. The issue with Torn is, firstly, that you're getting Torn instead of Latios, Enamorus, and Thunderous. Those 3 are the best. So if you're getting Torn, you're already sad. But the bigger issue with Torn, you get it at like level 90, so you only have these 4 moves. But you have to scale if you want knockoff superpower. Sure, Prankster Tailwind can be pretty good, but it's just not that great. Obviously, hero of the run. Absolutely goated. I'll put him here. Everyone knows how good Laddie has. Everyone knows how crazy this boy is. This girl. Ours was a Urshifu. I did have Galarian Weezing. It was okay. Didn't do as much as I thought it would, even though it's a fairy type. Yeah, honestly, I was a little bit disappointed by this Pokemon. There are some niche scenarios where a Poison Fairy with Levitate is really good at walling certain mons. Like it's a 4x resistor fighting. And there it was pretty decent. But that was like one fight, I think. And then it basically did nothing else. Maybe it was because I had other checks in my box. But for my run, this Weezing did not do much at all. Zoroark, you get it so late. I got it in Sky Pillar. I'm going to put it below Mawile. It was basically a sacrifice in Juan. That's all I used it for. I think the typing is really cool and you could probably do some cool stuff with it. Celebi, on the other hand, is a really good Pokemon. I'll put it at the bottom of solid because it didn't contribute much to the win. However, Celebi is a really good Pokemon. The few times that I used it, I was very pleasantly surprised. It's bulky, it does a lot of damage, it has a great typing, it's a really good Pokemon. It needs to be brought to the Elite Four soon. I want to see it, I want to see it. I'm sure it will happen soon, I'm sure. Cast Form is a bit of a bum, I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, but you get Life Orb. And how much did I use Life Orb? If you don't get Cast Form, you don't get Life Orb. Like, Life Orb is so important, right? Hariyama, where are you? No, I didn't. I knew it. Okay, bro was absolutely A tier. Like, really good for early game. I'll put him up here, I think. Yeah, that's better. A few more things. So, Clefable, if it wasn't for being run defining, would probably be in C. It's pretty good as a defensive mon, but it doesn't do a huge amount. If it wasn't for bringing Torkoal to the Elite Four, Torkoal would probably have been in B. Probably ahead of Camerupt. Torkoal is a really reliable mon. Berserker, if it didn't come to the Elite Four, would probably have been in bottom of A, just because how much I used it throughout the whole game. And that is the tier list, boys! That is the tier list of how each Pokemon contributed to my run.